The Curious Encounter. In a busy intergalactic city, where aliens and humans lived side by side, there was a small cave called Cosmic Brews. It was a bright and lively place, filled with chatter and laughter. Strange drinks and delicious food from different planets filled the air with a mix of wonderful smells. Among the many customers was an alien girl named Zira. Zira was not like the humans around her. She had bright green skin that shimmered under the cafe's colorful lights. Her large round eyes sparkled with curiosity, and her long, slender fingers were always fidgeting. She had traveled from a distant planet, eager to learn about the many species in the universe, especially humans. Today, Zira sat at a table by the window, sipping a drink that bubbled and changed colors. She watched the humans interact. They laughed, talked, and sometimes even held hands. Zira felt a strange feeling in her chest, a mix of excitement and longing. She wanted to understand them better. As she observed, Zira overheard a group of humans at the next table discussing relationships and reproduction. The topic made her ears perk up. She had learned a bit about human reproduction during her studies, but it was mostly theory. Zira found the idea of it fascinating, yet it seemed so different from her own kind. She leaned in closer, trying to catch every word. "It's not just about the act," one human said. "It's about the feelings, the connection. It's intimate." Zira felt her heart race. What did that mean? Was it only physical, or was there more to it? The conversation continued, filled with laughter and jokes that made her smile. Suddenly, one of the humans turned and caught Zira's gaze. He was tall, with warm brown eyes and a friendly smile. His name was Alex. He waved at her, and Zira felt a rush of warmth. She waved back, feeling shy yet excited. After a moment, Alex stood up and walked over to her table. "Hi there. I'm Alex. You look like you're really into the conversation. What's your name?" Zira hesitated for a moment, surprised by his kindness. "I am Zira," she said softly. "I am curious about humans and how you connect." Alex smiled wider. "That's interesting. What do you want to know?" Zira felt her cheeks warm. "I overheard you talking about reproduction. It sounds complex. I want to understand." Alex's expression shifted from curiosity to surprise. "Oh, that's a big topic. Are you asking about the science or the emotional part?" Zira pondered his question. "Both, I think. I want to know why it is important to you." Alex nodded, settling into the chair across from her. "Well, for humans, it's not just a biological process. It's tied to our emotions and relationships. It's about love, trust, and connection. We often share a bond with someone special." Zira listened intently. "Bond. Is it like friendship?" "Kind of, but deeper. A romantic bond involves feelings of affection and desire. It's about being close to someone, both emotionally and physically." Zira's mind raced with thoughts. The idea of a romantic bond was so different from her own species, where reproduction was mainly about survival and continuation. She found herself wanting to explore this further. How does one experience this bond? Alex leaned back, considering how to explain. "Well, it starts with attraction. You feel drawn to someone. Then, as you get to know them, you build trust and share experiences. It can lead to physical intimacy." Zira's heart raced again at the thought. "Intimacy? You mean being close?" "Exactly. It can be emotional, like sharing secrets, or physical, like hugging and kissing. It's all about connection." Zira felt a flutter in her chest. "It sounds beautiful, but also confusing. My kind has different ways. We do not have bonds like that. Do you want to learn more?" Alex asked with a friendly smile. "I'd be happy to explain more about it." Zira nodded eagerly. "Yes, I want to understand it. Can you help me?" "Of course," Alex replied. "Let's meet again, and I can share more about human relationships and feelings. Maybe we can even explore what it means to connect." Zira felt a rush of happiness. "Thank you, Alex. I would like that very much." As they exchanged contact information, Zira couldn't help but feel a spark of excitement. She had come to this city to learn, but she never expected to make a friend like Alex. When they parted ways, Zira walked back to her home, her mind buzzing with thoughts of what she had learned. She felt a mix of curiosity and anticipation for what lay ahead. Would she truly be able to understand human connections? The night sky was filled with stars, and Zira gazed up at them, feeling hopeful. She was ready to explore this new world of emotions and bonds, and with Alex's help, she knew she could discover more than she ever imagined. With each step, Zira felt more determined. She would dive into this new experience, exploring human reproduction and all the feelings that came with it. The adventure was just beginning, and she was eager to learn, understand, and con a lesson in bonds. The next day, Zira woke up with excitement bubbling inside her. She couldn't stop thinking about Alex and their conversation. She wanted to learn more about human relationships, and she was eager to meet him again. After breakfast, she prepared herself for their next encounter. She wore a simple yet vibrant outfit that highlighted her bright green skin, wanting to make a good impression. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the city, Zira headed to Cosmic Brews once more. The cafe was bustling with life, but her eyes searched for one person: Alex. When she spotted him sitting at their usual table, her heart raced. He was absorbed in a book, a look of concentration on his face. "Hi, Alex," she called out, waving her hand. He looked up, and his face lit up with a smile that made Zira's heart flutter. "Hey, Zira. I'm glad you came," he said, closing his book. "Ready for our lesson?" "Absolutely," Zira replied, taking a seat across from him. She felt a mix of nervousness and excitement as she settled in. "So, what do you want to know first?" Alex asked, leaning forward with interest. Zira thought for a moment. "You mentioned attraction. How do humans know when they are attracted to someone?" Alex grinned. "Great question. Attraction can happen in many ways. Sometimes it's about physical appearance, but often it's also about personality and shared interests. You feel a connection that draws you toward them." Zira nodded, trying to grasp the concept. "And does it feel the same for everyone?" "Not really," Alex explained. "Each person experiences it differently. Some might feel butterflies in their stomach, while others feel more excited or curious about the other person." "Interesting," Zira said, imagining what those butterflies might feel like. "What happens after attraction?" "Well," Alex continued, "once someone feels attracted, they often try to get to know the person better. They spend time together, talk, and share experiences. This is where friendship often begins." Zira leaned in closer, intrigued. "And does friendship always lead to more?" "Not always, but it can," Alex replied. "Sometimes friendships deepen into romantic relationships. Other times, people stay just friends. It all depends on how both individuals feel." Zira pondered this. "In my culture, we do not have many friendships that change into something deeper. We focus more on our duties and responsibilities." Alex smiled gently. "That's understandable. Every culture is different. But here, relationships can be complex and beautiful. Emotions play a big role in forming bonds." Zira felt her curiosity grow. "What about physical intimacy? How does that fit in?" Alex's cheeks turned slightly red. Physical intimacy can be a natural part of a romantic relationship. It's about being close with someone you trust and care about. It can include holding hands, hugging, and kissing. Zira's heart raced at the thought of such closeness. "And does it feel good?" "It can feel amazing," Alex said, his voice warm. "But it's also important to have trust and consent. It's about making sure both people are comfortable and willing to share that experience." Zira felt a mixture of excitement and confusion. "In my culture, physical closeness is not as personal. It is more about survival and reproduction." "That's a big difference," Alex noted. But that's why it's so fascinating to learn about other cultures. We can find new ways to connect and understand each other. Zira smiled, her thoughts racing. I want to learn more about this. Trust. How does one build it? Building trust takes time, Alex explained. It's about being honest, showing respect, and being there for each other. Sharing personal stories can also help deepen the bond. Zira's mind filled with ideas. I have many stories to share. I want to learn about your life and what makes humans happy. Then let's start with something simple, Alex suggested. Tell me about your home. What's it like? Zira took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of friendship growing. My planet is very different from Earth. The skies are purple, and the trees glow at night. We have festivals to celebrate the changing seasons. It's a time for family and friends to come together. That sounds amazing, Alex said, his eyes wide with interest. What do you celebrate? We celebrate the harvest, the beginning of a new cycle, and the unity of our community. It's a joyful time, Zira replied, feeling proud of her heritage. I'd love to experience that, Alex said with a smile. Maybe one day I could visit your planet. Zira felt a spark of joy at the thought. Yes, you would be welcomed with open arms. As they continued talking, Zira felt her worries fade away. She found comfort in sharing her life with Alex, and with each moment, their connection grew stronger. Eventually, the cafe began to empty, and Zira realized how much time had passed. She felt grateful for the chance to learn and connect with someone who was so different yet so kind. Thank you, Alex, for sharing this with me, Zira said as they stood to leave. I feel like I understand humans a bit better now. Anytime, Zira, Alex replied, his eyes twinkling. I'm really enjoying this too. Let's meet again anytime, Zira, Alex replied, his eyes twinkling. I'm really enjoying this too. Let's meet again soon. As Zira walked home, she felt lighter than ever. She had discovered not only new knowledge but also a special bond with Alex. The curiosity that once filled her mind was now mixed with warmth and excitement for the future. She couldn't wait to explore more of what it meant to be human and to share her own experiences in return. Tonight, she would dream of friendships, connections, and the adventure of understanding a new world, discovering new feelings. The next few days flew by for Zira. Each evening, she met Alex at Cosmic Brews, and their friendship blossomed. They exchanged stories about their cultures, laughter echoed in the cafe, and Zira found herself more comfortable with each meeting. Each time they sat together, she felt a warmth growing inside her, something new and exciting. One evening, as they sipped their drinks, Alex brought up the topic of human emotions. So, Zira, he said, leaning forward with a curious expression, what do your people feel when they bond with someone? Zira thought carefully. We feel connection and duty. It is not as strong as what you describe. We focus more on responsibilities. Alex nodded, encouraging her to continue. What do you want to feel then? Zira paused, the question lingering in her mind. I want to understand love. You mentioned it before. What is love? Alex smiled softly. Love is a deep, caring feeling for someone. It can be romantic or platonic. It's about wanting to support and be with the person, sharing joy and pain. Zira's heart raced at the idea. And how does one find this love? It can happen naturally, Alex replied. Sometimes it grows over time with friendship. Other times it's instant, a spark between two people. Zira's thoughts drifted to her feelings for Alex. She felt drawn to him in a way she had never experienced before. I think I may feel something for you, she admitted, her cheeks flushing. Alex's eyes widened in surprise. Really? I feel a connection too, Zira. It's nice to know we share this. Encouraged, Zira leaned in closer. But how do we explore this feeling? I want to learn about it. Let's take it slow, Alex suggested. We can go on adventures together, get to know each other better, and see where it leads. Zira smiled brightly. I would love that. What shall we do first? How about we visit a local park? Alex proposed. We can enjoy nature and talk more. Nature? Zira repeated, her eyes sparkling. Yes, let's. The next day, they met at the park, a beautiful place filled with green grass, colorful flowers, and tall trees. The sun shone brightly, and birds chirped cheerfully in the background. Zira felt a sense of wonder at how different this place was from her home, and she was excited to share it with Alex. Wow, it's so vibrant here, Zira exclaimed, taking a deep breath. It smelled so fresh. I'm glad you like it. Alex replied, smiling. Let's find a nice spot to sit. They found a cozy bench under a big tree, and as they sat down, Zira felt her heart flutter. The warmth of the sun on her skin, mixed with the joy of being with Alex, made her feel alive. As they talked about their favorite things, Zira shared stories of her home planet. We have large fields of flowers that change colors with the seasons. In spring, they glow bright blue. It's magical. That sounds beautiful, Alex said, his eyes shining. I'd love to see that one day. Zira felt a tingle of happiness at the thought of Alex visiting her world. And I want to see more of your Earth. It is so different and exciting. As they continued to share stories, Zira found herself studying Alex's expressions. She noticed how his smile reached his eyes and how his laughter felt warm and inviting. Each laugh made her feel more connected to him, and she began to understand what Alex meant about love and closeness. Suddenly, Zira had an idea. Can we try holding hands? She asked, feeling a rush of courage. Alex blinked in surprise but nodded. Sure, I'd like that. Zira reached out, her hand trembling slightly, and Alex took it gently. The moment their hands touched, Zira felt a spark of energy flow between them. Her heart raced, and she looked into Alex's eyes, seeing his surprise mixed with warmth. Wow, Alex whispered, looking down at their hands. This feels nice. Yes, it does, Zira agreed, feeling a blush rise to her cheeks. The warmth of his hand against hers was comforting and exhilarating all at once. They sat in silence for a moment, both taking in the new feeling. Zira felt as if she were discovering a part of herself she never knew existed. It was thrilling, like exploring an uncharted territory. I think I understand more about these feelings now, Zira said softly. It feels good to be close to you. Alex smiled, his eyes twinkling. I feel the same way. This connection is special. Zira's heart fluttered at his words. She felt an overwhelming urge to explore this connection even further. What happens next? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Let's just take our time and enjoy each moment, Alex replied. There's no rush. Zira nodded, feeling content. She looked around at the park, the flowers swaying gently in the breeze, and then back at Alex. I'm grateful to share this with you. And I'm grateful to share it with you too, Zira, Alex said, squeezing her hand gently. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the park, Zira felt a sense of peace. She knew that she was on the path to the unexpected challenges. The days turned into weeks, and Zira and Alex grew closer. Their connection deepened with each passing moment. They explored parks, attended cultural festivals, and shared countless stories over coffee at Cosmic Brews. Zira was learning more about human emotions, and with every new experience, she felt herself changing. However, not everything was smooth sailing. As Zira began to understand her feelings for Alex, she also started to notice the differences between their worlds. Humans had customs that were strange to her, and some of these customs puzzled Zira deeply. One afternoon, while they were walking through a bustling market, Zira saw couples walking hand in hand, sharing kisses and laughter. She noticed how comfortable they seemed with each other, and it made her heart flutter. But then, she spotted a group of people whispering and pointing at her and Alex. Their looks felt judgmental and harsh. Do you think they're laughing at us? Zira asked, her excitement dampening. Alex followed her gaze and frowned. I wouldn't worry about them. People can be rude sometimes, especially when they see something they don't understand. But what if they think we're odd? Zira said, feeling a knot tighten in her stomach. Our worlds are so different. What if I can't fit in? Alex stopped walking and turned to her. Zira, you're not odd. You're unique. And that's a good thing. Don't let what others think stop you from exploring your feelings. Zira appreciated his words but felt unsure. It's hard for me, Alex. I'm still learning about your customs. What if I do something wrong? Alex smiled gently. It's okay to be nervous. We can learn together. Just be yourself. Be myself, Zira repeated, trying to let the phrase settle in her mind. She wanted to embrace this feeling, but doubt crept in. What if she embarrassed herself? As the weeks continued, Zira began to explore human emotions more. She watched romantic movies with Alex, fascinated by the way love was portrayed. They talked about affection and intimacy, and Zira felt more curious than ever. But every time they got close, fear would creep in, making her hesitate. One evening after a long day, Zira and Alex decided to have a cozy night at his apartment. They made popcorn, snuggled under a blanket, and watched a classic romance movie. As the couple on screen shared their first kiss, Zira's heart raced. She turned to Alex, her eyes wide. Is that what a kiss feels like? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. It can be, Alex replied, glancing at her with warmth. It's a way to express feelings. It can be sweet, passionate, or even just a friendly gesture. Zira bit her lip, feeling the urge to try it. Would you want to kiss me? She asked, her heart pounding. Alex looked surprised but hopeful. If you're ready, I would love to. Zira took a deep breath, her hands trembling slightly. I think I want to. As they leaned in, Zira felt a rush of excitement and fear. Their lips met softly, and Zira's eyes fluttered closed. The kiss was gentle and sweet, sending a wave of warmth through her. She pulled back, her heart racing. Wow, she breathed, feeling a smile spread across her face. Alex chuckled softly, his eyes sparkling. You okay? Zira nodded enthusiastically. That was incredible. I didn't know it would feel like that. I'm glad you liked it, Alex said, grinning. Want to try again? Yes, please, Zira said eagerly, feeling more confident. They shared several more kisses, each one making her feel lighter and more alive. But just as Zira began to embrace her feelings, an unexpected challenge emerged. The next day, Alex received a phone call from his mother. Zira watched as his expression shifted from happiness to concern. What's wrong? She asked, sensing the change. My mom wants me to come home for a family gathering, Alex explained, running a hand through his hair. She's worried about me spending too much time with someone different. Zira's heart sank. Different? You mean me? Yeah. She thinks it's too soon for me to be involved with someone from another planet, Alex admitted, looking frustrated. Zira felt a wave of emotions crash over her. Do you think I'm different? Am I a problem for you? No, Zira. You're not a problem, Alex said quickly, his eyes wide. You mean a lot to me, but I don't know how to explain our relationship to my family. Zira looked down, her heart heavy. Maybe it's better if I stay away. I don't want to cause trouble for you. Zira, please don't say that, Alex urged, reaching for her hand. I want to figure this out together. You're worth it. But what if they don't accept me? Zira felt tears welling in her eyes. What if I ruin everything for you? Alex shook his head, squeezing her hand gently. You're not ruining anything. We can take this step by step. I'll talk to my family. I'll make them understand. Zira felt a mix of hope and fear. She wanted to be with Alex, but the thought of meeting his family terrified her. Would they accept her? Would they see her as just an alien? We can do this, Alex said, determination in his voice. No matter what happens, I want you by my side. Zira took a deep breath, feeling a flicker of courage. Okay, I trust you. Let's face this together, Alex said, smiling softly. We're a team. As they sat together in the living room, Zira felt a wave of emotions. The bond between them was growing stronger, and despite the challenges ahead, she was ready to embrace whatever came next. Together, they would face the unknown, and Zira was determined to prove that love could bridge any gap, even between worlds. Discovering something wonderful, something that felt like love. And with Alex by her side, she was ready to embrace every moment of their journey together. Meeting the family. The day had finally come for Alex to introduce Zira to his family. Anxiety bubbled within her as they approached his parents' house. Zira clutched Alex's hand tightly, feeling the warmth of his reassurance. They stepped onto the porch, and Alex knocked on the door, his heart racing as much as hers. The door swung open to reveal Alex's mother, a warm smile spreading across her face. Alex, I'm so glad to see you. She pulled him into a hug, and then her gaze shifted to Zira. And who is this lovely young lady? This is Zira, Alex said, a hint of pride in his voice. She's from another planet. Zira felt a wave of nervousness wash over her. Would Alex's mother accept her? Would she think Zira was odd? She forced a smile, trying to appear confident. It's nice to meet you, Mrs. Thompson, Zira said, her voice steady but soft. Nice to meet you too, Zira, Mrs. Thompson said, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Please come in. As they stepped inside, Zira was struck by the cozy atmosphere. Family photos lined the walls, and the smell of home-cooked food filled the air. Alex's father, a tall man with a kind face, looked up from the kitchen. Alex, good to see you, son. And who is your friend? This is Zira. Alex introduced her again. She's been showing me what it's like to experience life outside our world. Nice to meet you, Zira, Mr. Thompson said, giving her a warm smile. We've heard a lot about you. Come on in and make yourself at home. Zira felt a little at ease, but the nervous knot in her stomach tightened again. She sat on the couch as the Thompsons began to ask her questions. They were curious about her planet, her culture, and what it was like to live among humans. Zira shared stories, her excitement growing as she explained her home's colorful landscapes and unique customs. But the more she spoke, the more she noticed subtle glances exchanged between Alex's parents. They seemed to whisper to each other, and Zira could sense the underlying tension in the air. So Zira, Mrs. Thompson began, her tone turning more serious. What do you think about our customs? How do you feel being here with us? Zira took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. I think human customs are beautiful. You have a strong sense of family, and it's something I admire. I want to learn more about it. Alex's parents shared another glance, and Zira's heart raced. But do you think you'll fit in? Mr. Thompson asked, his voice kind but probing. I hope so, Zira replied honestly. I care about Alex very much, and I want to understand your world better. I know it might take time. There was a brief silence as the Thompsons exchanged looks. Zira felt her confidence wavering. What if they didn't accept her? What if they thought she was just a curiosity, not someone who truly cared for their son? Suddenly, a loud bark interrupted the conversation. Alex's younger sister, Mia, rushed into the living room with a small dog in her arms. Alex, you're home, she exclaimed, noticing Zira for the first time. Who's this? This is Zira, Alex said, his face lighting up with a smile. She's my friend. Mia's eyes sparkled with curiosity as she placed the dog on the ground. Can I pet your dog? What's its name? Zira felt a wave of relief wash over her. Mia's innocence and excitement lightened the mood. Yes, his name is Sparky. He loves to play. Zira knelt down, and Sparky bounded over, wagging his tail. As she played with the little dog, laughter filled the room. For a moment, Zira felt accepted. Maybe things would be okay after all. But as the evening progressed, the conversation shifted back to Zira and Alex's relationship. Mrs. Thompson asked, "So, how serious are you two?" Alex glanced at Zira, his eyes filled with determination. "Zira is special to me. I want to explore this relationship further." Zira felt warmth spread through her heart at his words, but she also felt the weight of their parents' expectations. "I want to understand what it means to be human, and I want to be with Alex," she said softly, her gaze steady. Mr. Thompson nodded, but there was still uncertainty in his eyes. "It's just that dating someone from another world is unconventional." "I know it's unusual," Zira said, her voice gaining strength, "but love can bridge any gap. I want to learn and grow, not just for me but for Alex too." There was a moment of silence as the Thompsons absorbed her words. Alex looked hopeful, squeezing Zira's hand tightly. Finally, Mrs. Thompson smiled gently. "It's clear you care about each other. Just remember that building relationships takes time. It's important to be patient." "Thank you," Zira said, feeling a mixture of relief and gratitude, unwilling to put in the effort. As the night went on, they shared stories and laughter. Zira felt a sense of belonging beginning to take root. Maybe she could fit into this world after all. But even as she enjoyed the evening, Zira knew challenges lay ahead. She would need to navigate the complexities of human relationships, but with Alex by her side, she felt ready to face whatever came next. Together, they would explore the depths of love and understanding, one day at a time. A new understanding. The day of the festival had arrived, and excitement buzzed through the air. Zira felt a mix of nervousness and joy as she and Alex prepared to attend the event together. They stood in Alex's room, surrounded by colorful decorations and lights. The festival was a celebration of unity and culture, and Alex had promised it would be a day Zira would never forget. "Are you ready?" Alex asked, adjusting his shirt. He looked handsome, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. Zira took a deep breath, feeling her heart race. "I think so. But I'm still a bit nervous. What if I don't understand everything?" "Just be yourself. Everyone is excited to meet you, and I'll be right there with you." Alex reassured her, his smile warm and encouraging. As they arrived at the festival, Zira was immediately struck by the vibrant atmosphere. Colorful banners waved in the breeze, and the sounds of laughter and music filled the air. The streets were alive with people celebrating their traditions, showcasing their foods, and sharing stories. "This is amazing," Zira exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. She could see children playing games, couples dancing, and families enjoying the day together. It felt like a whirlwind of joy and connection. "Let's start with the food stalls," Alex suggested, leading her through the crowd. They stopped at a booth filled with delicious treats. Zira's senses danced with delight as she took in the aromas of spices and sweets. Alex handed her a small dish of something unfamiliar. "Try this. It's called funnel cake." Zira took a bite, her taste buds exploding with flavor. "This is wonderful. How do humans create such amazing tastes?" "It's all about mixing ingredients. We love to experiment," Alex said, laughing. As they continued to explore, Zira began to relax. She observed the human customs, noting how people interacted with warmth and openness. She watched families share stories, friends joke and laugh, and couples dance under the stars. "Zira, over here," Alex called, pointing to a stage where performers were getting ready. "Let's go watch the dance." They squeezed through the crowd, finding a spot near the front. As the dancers took the stage, Zira felt her heart race. The movements were beautiful, full of expression and rhythm. It reminded her of the dances from her own planet, where emotions were expressed through movement. "This is incredible," Zira said, clapping along with the crowd. Alex turned to her, his eyes shining with excitement. "I knew you'd love it. Let's dance too." Zira hesitated for a moment. "I'm not sure I can dance like them." Just let loose and have fun. I'll be right there with you." Alex encouraged her. With a deep breath, Zira decided to join in. She followed Alex's lead, mimicking his movements and letting herself get swept up in the rhythm. To her surprise, she found herself enjoying it. Laughter bubbled from her lips as she moved to the music, feeling free and connected to those around her. As the evening wore on, Zira began to notice something new about the humans. She observed the way they communicated, how they touched and laughed, and how their faces lit up with every shared moment. There was an unspoken bond between them that resonated deeply within her. "Alex," she said, taking a moment to catch her breath after dancing. "There's so much love here. It's like everyone is connected." "That's what the festival is all about," Alex replied. "It's a time to celebrate our community and share joy. We might come from different worlds, but our emotions are universal." Zira pondered his words, feeling a warm glow in her heart. She had felt that connection before, especially with Alex. It was a bond that transcended their differences, a true meeting of minds and souls. As the night continued, Zira's confidence grew. She struck up conversations with others, sharing stories of her home planet and learning about their traditions in return. Each interaction deepened her understanding of human life, and she felt more at ease with each passing moment.